जब भी मैं हूं अशोक दास, आप देख रहे हैं दलित दस्तक और मैं हूं कनाडा में और यहाँ पे डॉक्टर अंबेडकर सिंपोजियम चल रहा है जिसमें शामिल होने के लिए अलग अलग फील्ड से अलग अलग लोग आए हुए हैं और इसी में शामिल होने के लिए आई हैं लीला अहेर जो कि अल्बर्टा से एमएलए हैं और सेकंड टर्म है इनका। भारत की तेलुगु फैमिली से इनका ताल्लुक़ रहा है और कनाडा और यह दूसरा टर्म है इनका और इसके अलावा फ़िलहाल यूनाइटेड कंजर्वेटिव पार्टी के लीडरशिप इलेक्शन भी लड़ रही हैं आई थिंक। ओके, और इसके साथ ही बिजनेस वुमेन हैं और म्यूजिक टीचर हैं, एक साथ इतनी सारी चीज़ें कैसे होल्ड किया आपने?
I'm doing extremely well today. It's been an amazing panel. It's wonderful to be here with all of you.
Okay, we are here for symposium on Dr. Ambedkar. What is your opinion about this event and about Dr. Ambedkar?
It's been, we all know about Baba Saheb. We know about him, but there's a difference when you actually look into the policies and the application of that, especially today. And I was mentioning during the panel that everything that he talked about back in the day when he was starting his discussions and when he brought forward the Constitution of India, that is incredibly relevant to today for your generation, for my generation, for the next generations, and specifically around women empowerment. And when you read the language and the words that he uses, we are using, even to today, in 2023, the same language to try to make the changes even that he spoke about, in the early 1900s.
Okay, a music teacher, a businesswoman, and now a politician.
Yeah.
Can you tell about your journey?
Oh, sure. So I've been actually very busy in politics my whole life. So I've been door knocking since I was 14 for local politicians. The music part of my life has always been a part. My father, when he came from India, from Andhra, in 1962, he came to Edmonton, Alberta, and he joined a choir, and that's where he met my mom, who is Caucasian, Irish, English, Scottish, and Scandinavian. So music has been a huge part of my life, my whole life. And then I've been on stage singing since I was just a little girl, since I was 2. And music has been such a great delivery of message my entire life. It's also extremely competitive. So going into politics, it might seem like it was an odd trajectory, but actually it was a very natural fit because you're used to being in front of people, you're used to being able to project a message and be able to talk in a space that resonates with people, and also being able to take the criticism of being a politician, because as you know, it's very rarely that you standing as a politician that everybody agrees with you. There's equal amounts of opposition. So it was actually a very, very natural fit to go from one to the other. I'm an entrepreneur in my community, so when the opportunity presented itself, there was other people who were very politically engaged in our community, and they actually asked me. I said no many times, but then realized that as a woman, and particularly a woman of East Indian descent, that I had a voice and I had an opportunity to make changes and very, very strongly stand up for my community as well too. So it's.
What do you want to do as a politician? What is your goal?
Education, actually. I think around all of the things. Fundamentally, many of us don't have access to a lot of the information that's out there, whether that is the rule of law, whether that is how the law works, particularly for new immigrants coming into Canada. Immigration is a huge part of that, and education for those that are coming into the country is probably one of the most wonderful things that we can do, because we're inviting all of these beautiful people to come into Canada, asking them to have strong professions, and then not recognizing their professional designations once they're here. So I think that my next move forward, and probably where I see myself outside of women empowerment, which will continue always in how I feel, but is also really educating to make sure girls and women in Canada who are coming into this country understand their rights, but also for our new immigrants that are coming in, that we make sure that we recognize their professional designations as quickly as possible, get them into the work system as quickly as possible. We need them. Right? It's a big country with a very small population. So.
Okay. A big number of Indian people living in Canada. Okay. What is your plan for them, their upliftment?
For the Southeast Asians that are in India, or that are in Canada, we come from a very, very diverse and beautiful and cultured and colorful background. Let's not be afraid of who we are and be able to share all of that in this country. We are a young country in Canada, and the people coming from India in particular have so much to share with our country. We have a lot to learn, especially because it's an ancient culture with so many wonderful things. But also, if you're looking at Dr. Ambedkar in particular and the Indian Constitution and the freedoms with which he brought forward, we have an immense opportunity as a country, I think, to learn from that.
Okay. Majority of people ठीक है, coming from India, lots of people are from marginalized community. Okay, we heard so many cases regarding caste discrimination in Canada, है ना? And are you introduce any plan to federal government
Yeah.
to prevent further
You're talking
issues?
about hate language and all of that. I think there's a huge opportunity to have this conversation. I'm sorry, I'm going to faint.
हाँ, तो ये थी लीला अहीर और सवाल जवाब का सिलसिला चल रहा था, लेकिन अचानक हेल्थ इश्यूज़ की वजह से ये बातचीत बीच में रोकनी पड़ रही है। बट कीप वॉचिंग दलित दस्तक, देखते रहिए। जय भीम।